Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on, everybody? This is Joseph Conlon coming to you with your Monday Night Raw review on Monday, June 22nd, 2020. Tonight's Raw. We're going to talk about it, man. We got a lot to talk about, actually, on tonight's Raw. And my honest opinion, this Raw was actually better than most weeks. I'm not saying the show was good. It wasn't a bad show either. Tonight's show wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. If I had to rate this show, it'd be a split right down the middle. It was a split show of good things happening and bad things happening. A lot of questionable booking decisions that we will definitely go over tonight. So that should be a lot of fun. It should be a good review tonight. And if you guys missed it, check out last week's NXT review on the channel, and check out the rapid fire news I did on The Undertaker, talking about the Edge and Randy Orton Backlash match. Speaking of The Undertaker, I will say more about him on the end of this review. More about that for The Undertaker in tomorrow's video. Without further ado, let's start the Raw review, which started off with Drew McIntyre coming out to the ring, and he said last week R-Truth cornered him to a position where he did not feel comfortable with. He put the WWE Championship on the line in a tag team match against Bobby Lashley and MVP. Yes, that is Monday Night Raw for you in 2020. A WWE title match in a tag team match. So he said he successfully defended, and that's the past, and it's time to move on into the future. And he immediately gets interrupted by Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler comes out and he says, "It's nice to see you here. Your hard work, dedication for all these years. You are the WWE champion, and I couldn't be any happier for you. And I brought you back because of me. And we became dominant Raw Tag Team Champions because of me. And you became the Scottish Psychopath because of me. And you won the WWE Championship because of me." So we went from "it should have been me" to "because of me." I pointed that out earlier. We went to Dolph Ziggler saying last year in the feud with Kofi Kingston, "it should have been me," to Dolph Ziggler now saying "because of me." So, yeah. Drew McIntyre said he don't know exactly what he owes Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler said he owes him a WWE Championship match, and Drew McIntyre just flat out gave Dolph Ziggler a WWE Championship match for Extreme Rules. So, Drew McIntyre versus Dolph Ziggler for the WWE Championship at Extreme Rules. It is. I don't have a problem with it. It makes sense. It's a good filler feud for Drew McIntyre until I hope he eventually gets to Randy Orton, and they have good history together from 2018, and it should be a really good match, I'm hoping, at Extreme Rules. Now, granted, Dolph Ziggler could have done something to at least earn a WWE Championship match against Drew McIntyre. Like, literally all he did was ask for a match. The same thing he did last year in his feud with Kofi Kingston. and I kind of scratched my head on that one. It's a big logic gap. And this, I'm going to say it now. The same thing happened with Sasha Banks too tonight. She asked Asuka for a Raw Women's Championship match at Extreme Rules, and she got it. What happened to having to earn your spot in a championship match? It's lazy, and it kind of makes the championship not feel important, if you get what I mean. So that was that. I just don't. I think that's a huge logic gap right there, and I don't know. It was a good segment. It's just I wish Dolph could have done something to earn his championship match against Drew McIntyre. Just said it flat out. Just ask and you receive. That's lazy. Nia Jax came out with a steel chair. She sat on the chair. She talked that she was robbed against Asuka last week. Then R-Truth came out, was making jokes, and was then being chased around by ninjas to the back. If we had to see that. And then Charlotte came out, and Nia said that Charlotte is only successful because of her father's name. Yes, that is true. And because of her face. They then brawled, and Charlotte was quote unquote injured during the brawl. And there was no point of this. This was just to tell. I thought this was just to tell you that, hey, Nia Jax is going to interfere in this Raw Women's Championship match tonight, and it's going to set up a triple threat match between Charlotte, Nia Jax, and Asuka at Extreme Rules. Obviously, that did not happen. We'll talk about that when we get to the Raw Women's Championship match. But next up, we got the Raw Tag Team Championship with the Viking Raiders versus the Street Profits. And man, I paused there for a second because I didn't know what I was going to say about this. I feel like if it wasn't for all the stupid games with the basketball and the axe throwing and the bowling and the golf and the track and the stupid shit they did at Backlash, this would have been great. The feud would have been great between the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders, but all we wanted was for these guys to give us a tag team match. A good Raw Tag Team Championship match. And that's exactly what we got tonight. A good Raw Tag Team Championship match between the Viking Raiders and the Street Profits, with the Profits finally getting one up over the Viking Raiders, retaining the Raw Tag Team Championships. Then they all raised their fists in the air at the end, and then the Profits got attacked by Andrade and Angel Garza. So I clearly see we're setting up for a Street Profits, Andrade, Angel Garza Raw Tag Team title match at Extreme Rules or on some point of Raw. I don't know, but it seems like the Street Profits days as Raw Tag Team Champions are numbered. But this was a very good match between the Viking Raiders and the Street Profits, and the Street Profits won. Now we get to the Raw Women's Championship match. Charlotte, Asuka. This was 11 minutes. Decent wrestling match. Not their best match ever, but it wasn't bad at all. Decent match. I was scared as hell that Charlotte was going to pick up the victory over Asuka here, but in the end, Charlotte gave Asuka a powerbomb. Asuka reversed it into the Asuka lock very beautifully. That was very well done by Asuka. She puts Charlotte in the Oscar lock, and Charlotte tapped out clean. Yes, folks, I don't know if I shocked you, but Charlotte Flair tapped out clean to Asuka tonight. And I could not be any happier after what we saw after this. After this, Charlotte was backstage getting interviewed near the PC training area, and she was attacked by Nia Jax. Nia Jax viciously brutaled her. She targeted the arm of Charlotte. Then she put Charlotte's arm in like some container, slammed the top onto Charlotte's arm. And I pray that this will write Charlotte off of television. Because my God, she needs it, man. She definitely needs it. Overexposed is not even the correct word anymore. It's way more than overexposed for Charlotte Flair. So, the fact that she lost clean, the fact that Nia Jax took her out, I pray, man. I pray this is the way Charlotte gets written off television. Imagine if she just shows up next week on Raw after Nia Jax, quote-unquote, broke her arm. I'm seriously going to be pissed about that. I really am. I'm not just saying it just to say I'm going to be pissed. If they're going to do this angle to write Charlotte off TV, they better do it. They better do it because, my God, she really needs it. And it's come to the point where people are paying petitions for Charlotte not to win any more championships ever in the WWE. It's really came to that point. Ridiculous a little bit, yes, but you could tell how much people were pissed off at Charlotte. Edge cut a promo next in his wrestling ring. I think this was his ring in the PC, if I'm not mistaken. Edge cut a phenomenal promo. Edge, let me say this about him. In his return in 2020, my honest opinion, you could put Seth Rollins up there with this as well. Edge has been the best promo worker in 2020 in the WWE. No one comes close, in my opinion. When you see Edge serious, giving motivation, giving emphasis to his promos, they are great. He said that Orton crossed the line last week when he punted Christian, a man who wasn't even cleared and hasn't wrestled in 6 months. He's made this very personal. And he says when he comes back, he's going to wish that Bob Orton was shooting blanks the night you were conceived. Freaking phenomenal. Then he says this. I got a few quotes from here on my phone. If I can find them. I hope I was not going to remember this, but he said something about I'm not going to look for it. I'm not going to find it, but you get what I mean. If you did not see this promo by Edge, go check it out. It's phenomenal. I'm expecting his injury isn't as serious as people made it out to be, and that's great. I want to see Edge in the ring as soon as possible, maybe after SummerSlam. So, I don't know, but this was phenomenal. And Edge said, "You've woken up the rated R superstar at the end." Great stuff. I can't wait to see what's next in this Edge and actually no, I don't like what's next in this Edge and Randy Orton feud, and we'll get to it in a little bit. I'm actually 2 segments away from it, so I'm actually going to rush these 2 segments. We had the 24/7 championship match. Akira Tozawa versus R-Truth. R-Truth and the Ninjas. The Ninjas attacked R-Truth in the beginning of the match. Then Bobby Lashley and MVP came out. They attacked the Ninjas. Lashley put R-Truth in the full Nelson. R-Truth was knocked out. Akira Tozawa came in, pinned R-Truth, and yeah, that's it. Akira, Ninja, Warrior, Tozawa is the 24/7, 7-Eleven, I-95, 5-year-old day hot dog with mustard and a chocolate smoothie championship. Yes, Akira Tozawa was that champion. He went from having great Cruiserweight championship matches to now being a ninja as the 24/7 champion. Sucks. It really freaking sucks, man. He's being buried in this gimmick, and people don't realize that. Liv Morgan versus Natalya. This was very lame. This was very, very lame. With Natalya tapping out Liv Morgan, it's very clear that Liv Morgan's push is going on a downward spiral ever since Paul Heyman left his role on Monday Night Raw, because she's been beaten clean 2 weeks in a row now, tapping out clean to Natalya, and now it looks like we got this new alliance between Natalya and Lana. And man, if WWE was trying to make me attempt vomiting while watching this show, they have succeeded, because this is garbage. This is garbage, just like Twitter is. Randy Orton. Randy Orton came out next, cut a promo saying that what he did the last 2 weeks to Edge and Christian gives him the status of being the greatest wrestler ever. Maybe top 20 greatest wrestler ever in the WWE, but not the greatest wrestler ever, no way. Orton then says that he's talking about the Edge and Christian stuff, and we hear, well, it's the big slow. And I just put my hand on my head in disappointment, knowing what was coming next. And yes, we got that. Big Show was talking, and he said, "You don't be disrespectful to my friends Edge and Christian like that." And Orton talked about him being a Hall of Famer and having respect for him. And Show wanted to fight, and Randy Orton backed out. And he said, "Whatever happens next is all on you." This was not, and I repeat, not the right way for this feud between Edge and Randy Orton to continue. Why is there a point of bringing in the Big Show, of all people? One, there's no point of Big Show being on TV in 2020. Two, you're just saying, F the younger talent, because screw them. Hold on, let me get a sip of water real quick. Sorry about that. So at that point, you're just saying, screw the younger talent, because you only care about the now and not the future. And I'm sure there's a lot of guys backstage who look up to Edge as an idol, and you could have easily put someone out there to go up against Randy Orton, but no, you got to do the Big Show. The Big Show versus Randy Orton in 2020. I can't believe I'm saying that. Seriously. Not one single person in the IWC is going to care about the Big Show and Randy Orton in 2020. I don't care what anybody else says. They can have a blue check mark with 10,000 followers, or there could be some loser with 5 followers. I don't care what anybody says. No one is going to care about Randy Orton versus The Big Show. It does nothing for the Edge and Randy Orton feud. Yes, Randy Orton is being the legend killer, but is Big Show really a legend? Randy Orton should more likely be focused on the WWE Championship and Drew McIntyre. I don't see this being a good thing whatsoever, with Orton now facing The Big Show at probably Extreme Rules. Great. Women's Tag Title match, Ikonics versus Sasha Banks and Bayley. I did not really watch this match. I was getting my dessert ready. I came back in. Peyton Royce and Billie Kay were ready to hit their finisher. Sasha reversed Banks' their finisher into her putting a Banks statement, which is actually really nice. And Peyton Royce tapped out. So Sasha and Bayley retained. She said, "It's been like looking at you with 2 straps. Bayley, those straps, it almost makes me jealous. And I want a shot, and I want to become Sasha those straps as well. And that's why at Extreme Rules, I'm challenging Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship." So then Asuka comes out and she says, "You're not the boss of me. I accept." And Bayley and Sasha attack Asuka after the match. So, like I mentioned earlier, we are just handing out championship matches for no reason whatsoever. And I think that is effing lazy. I really do. I'm not going to say the F word. I'm just going to say effing lazy. That's all I'm going to say. But hey, Sasha Banks versus Asuka, take my money, man. If you allow those 2 women to go out for 20 minutes at Extreme Rules, I think the match is going to be freaking awesome. I really do. And I hope it is awesome, because those 2, they're 2 of the best women's wrestlers in the world. And I truly mean that. Apollo Cruz versus Shelton Benjamin again for a 2nd week in a row. Apollo was set up from MVP in the beginning for Shelton to attack him. And the match started. Apollo won in about 7 minutes with sit-out powerbomb. MVP came out at the end, raised Apollo's hand. Apollo pulled back quickly. Lashley came sprinting out, put Apollo in the full Nelson. And it seems like we're getting Apollo Crews versus Bobby Lashley for the United States Championship. And us people in the community were all right. Apollo Crews' days as the United States Champion are numbered. And Paul Heyman not being there might be the reason why. Bobby Lashley is definitely taking that championship from Apollo Crews. And it sucks. Finally, the final segment on Raw. We see Rey Mysterio and Dominic. Rey said last week, Dominic flew out here in the PC, and he was really nervous. Dominic was risking injury, and he's proud that he survived a 3-on-1 attack. And now we're in a fight with Seth Rollins. And he did Ray a favor, and now Ray needs to do Dominic a favor. Ray wants to fight Seth Rollins, but he wants to do it all by himself. Dominic said, I want to be there with you, and we want to show Seth Rollins what the Mysterio family is all about. And then Seth Rollins himself comes out. He says, one of you could be sacrificed, or Dominic could be a part of the greater good. He drops on his knees, opens his arms out. Out comes Murphy and Theory from behind. Aleister Black and Humberto Carrillo come out. They attack Murphy and Theory, and the brawl starts. And this was actually one of WWE's best brawls in a while. And I don't mean that over-exaggerating. Like the steel step spot where they all took out Theory and Murphy, and all the baby faces were dragging Rollins to the steps, and we're going to dig his eye in the steps, and then Theory and Murphy got Black and Humberto, threw them away. Then they were going to dig Dominic's eye into the steel steps with Rey Mysterio watching on, and then Aleister Black and Humberto came running out with chairs. And that was the way Monday Night Raw went off the air. And to be honest, I actually thought that was a great ending to the show. Seth Rollins versus Rey Mysterio is doing really good in my opinion. I don't know what's going to happen at Extreme Rules, but I'm sticking with my main prediction that it's going to be Seth Rollins versus Dominic. And if Dominic loses, Dominic has to join Seth Rollins and Murphy and Austin Theory. So that was the way Monday Night Raw went off the air. And that's the review. Overall, we had some pretty good things on the show. We had some pretty bad things on the show. Like I said in the beginning, I felt like I wasn't that negative in this review toward the show tonight. It was 50-50, right down the middle. It was a split show, and I'm going to put it as fair as that. It was a split show. We got 2 new matches for Extreme Rules. Dolph Ziggler versus Drew McIntyre, and Asuka versus Sasha Banks for the Raw Women's Championship and the WWE Championship. Meanwhile, both matches, challengers were literally asking for a championship match for no reason, for a reason, but they were just asking and they received. I hate it, but both matches should be great, and we'll see what happens. But I'm getting out of here. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you haven't already, subscribe right here on the Big Fight Field channel. The Undertaker, one of my favorites of all time, retired yesterday. Tomorrow, you guys are going to see my top 5 favorite Undertaker matches of all time. I'm going to go over it, and you're going to enjoy. It's a really good video. I did it today, edited it. It's all prepared. It'll probably go out tomorrow, somewhere around 4 to 5 o'clock. So stay tuned for that. Comment down below what you thought of tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw. Like I said, I thought it was a split right down the middle episode. Like this video if you enjoyed listening to me review Monday Night Raw, and follow me on Twitter at Colin_Joseph. But hey, Twitter is a sea-pool of garbage. So for now, if you don't want to follow me on Twitter and you want to stay off Twitter because of the toxic landscape on Twitter, I can't blame you. I can't blame you. So if you want to, go ahead. Instagram might be a better option. Colin_Joseph there. And then Eddie on Twitter at EddieMoans515. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for top 5 favorite Undertaker matches of all time. Have a good night. Stay safe.